First of all, they're changing my image, my voice. Satan is a sniveling worm who they made look like a sort of black-haired Northern European kind of build person in their own TV show, Lucifer. Okay? And there's a few things in the Bible said about Satan directly, and one of them is that he likes to pretend that his image is God's image. So you can rule out all white images immediately. All white Jews, all LGBT. If you do your due diligence, you see it defaults with me. That's why they changed my image and my voice. So they can pretend their arrogant, blood money, privilege, trickle-down, pedo energy ways are divine. If you make the choice to cheat me out of my right to lead, it is my constitutional right and my human right that transcends the Constitution to not like you. Let's quickly go over. Remember, my interpretation of the Bible, and no one has a viable counterargument, is that I'm Christ. It is very pathetic for the churches to hide from my arguments and to play stupid when they're supposed to be willing to die on the drop of a hat for God. Matthew 7, judging others. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the same measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and say, remember, this doesn't apply to Christ, obviously. We'll see why I'm right again. And pay no attention to the plank in your own eye. So why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there's a plank in your own eye? Also, the plank is subtly referring to be on board, right? Collective guilt. You hypocrite. First take the plank out of your own eye, then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Do not give dogs what is sacred, and do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. This always applies spiritually first and foremost. And only then, if it applies in a physical manner, does it apply. So, not only am I right to judge people as the anointed one, remember the miracles in the Bible are not literal. I've proven this with the cloud, with the water. I've proven this with these figurative speeches. Paul himself saying things are to be taken figuratively, and so on and so forth. It's open and shut. There is not even the semblance of a Bible counterargument. I've proven the Lord is a warrior, not a Freemason, not a priest, not a scientist, not somebody who never grew up, has a Ken and Barbie doll complex, who thinks life is about financial stability and material things and being socially normative with the mere human rules, customs, and traditions of this nation and world in their respective groupings. Okay, so that's proven, proof positive. Now let's fast forward to Matthew 10, one of my favorite chapters, and in my older videos, it was the most cited chapter, I believe, that I cited, going back maybe 8 years or so. All right, here we go. Matthew 10. Jesus called his 12 disciples to him and gave them authority to drive out impure spirits and to heal every sickness, basically. All right, so he goes on to mention the names. Verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent out with the following instructions: do not go only to the Gentiles or enter any town of the Samaritans. Now, this has to do with a long drawn-out scribe and cult tradition of referring to certain afflictions that are spiritual in a way that it allows for the confusion of them being literal. Okay, it's figurative. Jesus in the story, Jesus in the story is superimposed on an idea. Okay, so it says he allowed him to walk, because when you don't think clearly, it affects how you walk. It's part of why they feel me, to affect how I talk and walk. Right, the blind. Right, 2 Samuel 5. Where it says David was taking on the Jebusites. I've quoted this, I've talked about this often. And he says, the blind and lame cannot enter the palace. What were they talking about? They weren't talking about he was literally blind. They said he didn't see things their way. He didn't concede their points spiritually. And of course, David beat Goliath to show that his martial arts style, which is it's superimposed on, was superior. His martial art characteristic, his martial art essence, right? King, heart, core, center, essence, his martial art hierarchy. So the top martial arts challenge has far more significance than the average Christian understands. 5, okay, these 12 Jesus sent with the following instructions: do not go among the Gentiles or enter any town of the Samaritans. Go rather to the lost sheep of Israel. As you go, proclaim this message: the kingdom of heaven has come near. Okay, so the kingdom of heaven has come near because the gates. Jesus said, I'm the gate. I am the gate. I'm the top martial arts. I'm the king. The divine verdict's on the lips of a king. In the Lord's hands, the king's heart is a stream of water that he channels to anyone who pleases him. It's in Proverbs. They're feeling me right now. A slight headache, so on and so forth. 8, and a little, I can, my lungs, my tongue, and 8, heal these sick. Okay, raise the dead. Cleanse those who have leprosy, drive out demons. Freely you have received, freely give. Again, the wicked go down to the realm of the dead, all the nations that forget God. So the wicked are like the walking dead. So he said, raise them, resurrect them. And then so it is similar with the person that Jesus brought back to life in that story. That is what the resurrection is giving them the Spirit of God. And there's all kinds of cute little games they're playing. And one's ability to understand these games means nothing. Okay, it's a bunch of old, crazy old elders who don't live a moral life, never have for a moment in their life, who think they should be in charge, who understand a lot of these cute little stories. It's like they're playing charades or a puzzle or bingo, and they judge you on your ability to be successful at that with tricks of the trade and privilege leveraged. It is an abomination, unacceptable to God, obviously. All right. No gold, silver, or copper is allowed in them, etc. Okay. For the worker is worth his hire, and so on and so forth. It talks about this. Dust yourself off. It will be more bearable for Sodom and Gomorrah in that day, and so on and so forth. Go down to verse 16. I am sending you out like sheep among wolves. Therefore, be as shrewd as snakes and as innocent as doves. Be on your guard. You will be handed over to the local councils and be flogged in the synagogues. On my account, you will be brought before governors and kings as witnesses to them and to the Gentiles. But when they arrest you, do not worry about what to say and how to say it. At that time, you'll be given what to say. So these people want to put words in my mouth and tell me what to say because they want to play God, and it's fucking stupid. Okay? It's like me saying, you know what? It is wrong to cheat me out of my right to lead. And they say, it is unbearably disgusting to cheat. You see, it's like, I'm going to say it anyway. And they just look like idiots and totally disgrace their families and their groups that much more. It's stupid for them to, they're just retarded. Okay? I'm sure you all know there's emos, there's frat people, there's politicians, there's 1 in 5 corporate CEOs or CEOs are said to be psychopaths and so on and so forth. There's a bunch of weirdos with a lot of power and social networking clout, a lot of worldly power that do stupid shit. So doubt it not. 20. For it will not be you speaking, but the Spirit of the Father speaking through you. See, they want to act like, look, I 100% reject the spirit of the West, the East, the spirit of... Okay, remember, Isaiah, Hosea, Amos, etc., they're all chastising the Jews and the pagans and the peoples of the world. So we see here, going down to Matthew 10:16, says, I am sending you out as sheep among wolves, therefore be as shrewd as snakes and as innocent as doves. Don't snake people, don't cheat people. As innocent, actually innocent. Okay. Be on your guard, you'll be handed over to the local council and flogged in the synagogues. On my account, you will be brought before governors and kings as witnesses to them and to the Gentiles. But when they address you, do not worry about what to say or how to say it. At that time, you will be given what to say. For it will be not you speaking, but the Spirit of the Father speaking through you. So they see how these people, they interfere. I reject their spirits. I reject their social clubs, their fraternities, their churches, their synagogues, their mosques. Okay? I am the authority of God, not you people. The Lord is a warrior and not you people. Not modern warfare, obviously martial warfare. Thousands and hundreds of thousands of years before the gun was invented, there was the stick. And right there in Egypt, Tatib, it was like called Alewaza Tatib or something like this. It's being straightforward and honest through the use of the stick. It's certain to Tatib. Okay? Taught is the first part of the thing. Who taught who? Not some silly pagan deity. Who actually taught who? You think you people, it takes one look at you people and look at the Nigerian warriors. Who the hell do you think taught who? You think Harry Potter taught a Nigerian martial king martial arts? You think Prince William's bloodline? I mean, use your fucking heads, folks. Use your heads. I should have to explain this. I should not have to explain this. Brother will betray brother to death, and a father his child. Children will rebel against their parents and have them put to death. You'll be hated by everyone because of me, but the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. Again, this is a martyr religion. Not some sniveling boarding school person, not some sniveling Freemason. Hey guys, hi. No, this is how we think it should be. No. Not some weirdo in church. Oh, hi guys. No. 23. When you are persecuted in a place, flee to another. Truly, I tell you, will not finish going through the towns of Israel before the Son of Man comes. The student is not above the teacher, and a servant, nor a servant above his master. Okay, they're speaking to them as a group. The story is also about speaking to everybody as well. They like playing games like that. Okay, the children of God will not have finished trying to preach to the world before the end, and the end is here. The kingdom of heaven is here for the last time. The end has come. No one will be right with God after I die, except for my parents are blameless. And anybody who obeyed God through me, whose life will not be much longer after I die. So we'll give it 10 years tops, is what it's looking like before nobody is right with God after I die. And of course, don't follow anybody after I die. I am the last King of Kings no matter what. And for sure, say 50 years from now, for sure, nobody who's alive going to be right with God for sure. No ifs, ands, or buts. Right, 25. It is enough for students to be like their teachers. Okay, again. The student is not above the teacher, and a servant above his master. Who do you think taught who martial arts? How can the descendants of those my ancestors taught turn around and say, we're above you? You are not above me. And why do you say, Lord, Lord, and not do what I say? I am the master. Put on a thong and a Masonic apron does not put you above the top martial arts ever. Anyone who thinks this does is dumber than retards. There are literally retards, with all due respect to retards, walking around. They can tell you that a Freemason Grand Master is not above the top martial arts ever, nor is all the presidents put together. So what the fuck is your people's problem? It is enough for students to be like their teachers and servants like their masters. If the head of the house has been called Beelzebul, how much more the members of his household? If the government has been called Satanists, how much more cops and military and teachers, because they're doing their bidding. They're devils as well. Gang stalkers are devils as well. So do not be afraid of them, for there is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known. What I tell you in the dark is going to say proclaim from the rooftops. Okay. Okay, it's on the back of this page. I have to write. I'm not gay. It made it so I had to use these things. It's a long story why that is. No time to explain. Speak in the daylight. What is whispered in your ear, proclaim from the roofs. Do not be afraid of those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather, be afraid of the one who can destroy both body and soul in hell. That is me. Your bodies are not being forged to be divine. By not obeying me, your bodies are all abominations. And then your souls are going to be burning in hell forever. Do not fear the government, fear me. If you do not fear me, you do not fear God. I'm God's appointed representative. I'm his right hand. I have done, my family line did the right thing to the point where I have the honorous position as being the top King of Kings ever, the true King of Kings, the first and the last, the Alpha of all Alphas. 28. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them will fall to the ground outside of your Father's care. And even the very hairs on your head are all numbered. So not to be afraid, you are worth much more. You are worth more than many sparrows. Whoever acknowledges me before others will be acknowledged before my Father in heaven. Whoever disowns me before others will be disowned before my Father in heaven. Now, what are they saying? It's saying, yes, you will be persecuted and die if you obey God, but you'll be in God's care. Okay, even the animals in nature, they die in a way that allowed humans to rise up, to martial arts to rise up, for me to rise up as the top martial arts ever. It all came together a certain way. Okay, so it's fucking retarded. Like, I don't want my family to die, but that's some bitch ass shit. After all even if there was no God, and you knew it for sure, it's fucking bitch to take that stance you people have. But to know there is a God, and that not even the sparrows fall down outside of his care, how much more bitch are you people? I'm probably out of time by now, so we'll leave it there.